I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck Picture Book and Educational System. This book and system were created to help teachers teach literacy skills as well as social skills. And I was thinking a lot about this as school is over for the summer, but will begin in August for some and September for others. This book and its materials are just perfect for the first couple of weeks of school. As you're setting up your centers, it will help teach the children with a pre written lesson, which is based on the picture book, The Happy Little Garbage Truck, how to move from center to center, establish some basic vocabulary skills, and work together with their social skills and working on individual social skill ability levels. And also, it's a tiered system which can help children of different ability levels. So it's available on my website. I'll put that in the description box. With no further ado, let's move on to my second student. As I said, this last 2 weeks of school has been really a great time for me to implement some of the things that I was speaking about in my vlogs, and in particular, exhibiting patience, compassion, and courage in working with children in a virtual system of education. So, in these virtual teaching sessions, I've selected 3 students, and because I found myself developing 3 different strategies, not necessarily unique, but geared or catering to that student specific needs. So the first student was Ronnie that I spoke about yesterday, highly distractible, very low skill level second grader who was needing some additional help in developing phonetic skills. Now, my second student, I'll call her Carrie, was a child with ADHD, a very much more pronounced than Ronnie, who also had low skill reading level, low skill ability level in reading. However, she did know more of her phonetic skills, but said that she would like to learn how to write better. And I could see that when she said write. It was WRIT, or if it wasn't RIT, but I knew what she was talking about. So her biggest challenge, however, was a lack of interest in building her skills, the work that was needed to build the skills. And I got the impression that she didn't really realize that her work, her efforts would bring her to a higher level of ability. So I was actually helping another RSP assistant in working with her because during the last few weeks of school, um, there was a shift in the schedule, and Carrie needed additional help that her person could not provide for her because she was away testing. Now, I found earlier in the school year that Carrie's household was what I would say very disruptive and noisy, between background noises, TV, adults speaking with loud voices within the area of her school environment, which was her desk. I think it was in the kitchen. So it could have been an open apartment. She showed me one time the courtyard. So, but I think she also had other people staying with her during COVID. So the family was gracious in opening their house to others who needed that space, because I saw her wearing her mask a couple of times and I knew that might have been the case. But regardless, she was distracted and there wasn't any place that she could go to have a quiet environment. She was very sensitive about that. She would keep herself on mute a lot of times, and then sometimes she would turn her camera off, and then she started playing games with me where she would have her camera on, the computer on mute, and she wouldn't be in the frame. And I'd say, Carrie, I need to see you so we could work together. She was pulled out. She was there. I knew the teacher had, I could see her in the family squares of the Zoom. And then when I would get her in the pullout, she would all of a sudden not be there. And so one time she put her headphones in the area of the iris of the camera and then take them out, and she would come and she says, "I'm invisible." And I says, "Okay, Carrie, let's get to work." But one day, as the semester progressed, she became more and more difficult to engage. But one day I happened to mention that, "Oh, Carrie, since you're not on the camera and I can't hear you, I'm going to, you know, pull in another student." And I mentioned the name Amy. And she said, "Can I be in your Zoom with Amy?" And I said, "Okay, I got this connection. I got her number." And so I would go out and tell her, "Well, if you're on camera, I could bring Amy in, but we have to get through our lesson first." And so I would give her a pre-taught lesson on the skills that I was going to bring Amy in on, because Amy was working at a higher level, and give her some of the key pieces of information, like on silent letters, like a silent E lesson on long vowel sounds. I would say, "Okay, when you see this E on my virtual whiteboard behind the consonant or in the word," like, and I would give her an actual example from the game. I said, "When you see this E behind this particular letter, it's going to make the vowel sound go long. You're going to hear the vowel say its name." And I also found a video that showed how this shifted, and it was like a little cartoon. So I gave her a number of different skills to build her up before I brought the other student in. And then I had the other student and her working on those skills together. Now, this wasn't a perfect lesson because sometimes she would still become unresponsive, but I found out later on that it was because I had taken her out during her break. And so I found that I needed to be responsive and understanding that students have specific needs. And if it were a time that I was teaching her that her break was coming up, I have to get clear understanding from the teacher when the breaks actually were going to happen, because at the end of the semester, they shifted around quite a bit. So, long story short, we had a favorable ending of the school year, but I learned some invaluable lessons about flexibility. So until next time, I hope to see you, and we'll talk about the third student. Have a great day. Please share, please subscribe. Bye bye.